All right. Good evening to everybody, and welcome to another chill and chat. Yes, it's going to be a very interesting evening. Last week we spoke with Jacqueline Sivright, and she shared her testimony of woolly bus stuff. I wouldn't even try to get into all the stuff that she actually shared last week. If you didn't catch that video, if you didn't catch that live, you can slide on back over to the channel and you can start watch it after this finish. So we are actually in going to be having a person now who you know her well. You know her very well. A lot of you would have, you know, seen her, you've heard her, you've all sort of sing ting. Sorry, can't say sing ting right here. Right now. I'm sorry. I need to I need to behave myself with the whole sing ting thing. But she is a very good friend of mine. You know, she really and truly, since we've met several years ago, I don't even remember how long. And she's shaking her head. You can't see her yet, but she's shaking her head to say, but we became very good friends, and at this time I'm going to be talking to her. But before I do that, I am going to play a song. I think, and I'm wondering to myself if it's my favorite song, but I think it is because no, that one here not my favorite song. She do one called Unfinished Task. That is my favorite song. But today I'm going to play this one for you, and it is from her album launch last year. She pre-COVID it, and this one is a beautiful one. So take it in and enjoy this, yeah?
Anybody love being in the presence of God and just entertaining His presence? Brings such joy, brings such peace. Hallelujah. Something about your presence that in one moment can bring new life. It fills every void, satisfies my soul. It rivers flow within. Sanctifies and reconnects my spirit to yours. Like a blanket, cover me with His glory, so I never want to leave your presence. And just worship the Lord with your Come on, choir, help me. Come on, choir. Something about your presence. Something about your presence. That in one moment can bring you life. Oh, yeah. Fills every void. Satisfies my soul. Let the rivers flow again. Let them flow again. Your
this song. This song is, oh boy,
Into the presence
it's
of
not
God.
finished yet, but
You cannot remain the
I don't
same.
want to
There has to
get
be a shifting.
all.
There has to be a new
Yeah,
level. There
understand what
has
I
to be a
say?
new
I don't want to
dimension.
get all too.
And so that's our aim
Ah,
tonight. To be filled
I'm telling you.
with all that God.
Latoya HD is the name of this woman of God, and yeah, she's on with me now. See her there? There are she. There are she. She is on with me now, and a real pleasure having her on Chill and Chat with me this afternoon. Cause them people in the A's if it die down, you understand what I say? And if you get them, you have to just make sure say you take all that you can get because she is not easy to tie down. Welcome to Chill and Chat, Latoya. How are you?
Hi, KG.
Big up
Hello,
yourself.
everybody. How you doing?
Rip. I am fine, and I I am I am kind of in a place where I was watching that video just earlier.
Hmm.
I watched through the entire thing again, and I heard you say something, but I'm not gonna mention it yet until we reach. Now let me tell you a little bit about Latoya. Latoya is a vocal coach. She's a recording gospel artist. She is a professional singer because she has sung backline for people like Junior Tucker, Chevelle Franklin, Kirk Franklin to don't, Kurt
Yes.
Carr, all of them
No.
big people there. No, not Kurt Carr. Oh, okay. I think Kurt Carr did tonight too. But a lot of people, and Latoya has been in this business for a very long time. Latoya, a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
people, w- I personally want to know something. Who is
Mhm.
Latoya HD? A simple question.
Uh, uh
Yes, simple, simple.
Simple.
Right.
Well, Latoya is a very easygoing person. Yeah, a very simple girl in the sense that
Adriel?
she is
Adriel?
not. Um, she's not.
Come
She's
turn on
not
this light for
very
me, please.
fussy. Latoya is not fussy. However, Latoya don't stand for foolishness.
Turn on the light, please.
um,
Thank you.
Excellence is something that I try to make synonymous with my name.
Right, uh-huh. Oh, we
So
know.
anything that I do, I endeavor for it to be done in high definition.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what
hence
HD
the
means,
H.
right?
In addition to it being my last name, Hall
Uh-huh.
Downer,
Right.
but HD is really what I strive for. Um, Latoya loves the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Latoya is very passionate about doing her best for God,
Right. Uh-huh.
and serving God. So serving people
Mm-hmm.
comes into play, but it's serving people as unto the Lord.
My God. You see, I told you it was a simple question. So
That's
Latoya,
in a nutshell.
and I'm certain that there are more layers to Latoya, especially when it comes to certain things. Now, we're going to be talking about some stuff that would have to do with you. I mean, growing up, and I know that your father has been a part of the church for all of his life, which makes you automatically a
No,
part of the
you know,
church for all of
all
your
of my
life.
life,
Oh, all
all
of
of
your
my
life.
life,
Oh, he has been a
but
part
not
of the
all of
church. Oh,
his.
not that. Okay. So, I mean, growing up, did you know that did you always wanted to sing?
It was a part of me as far as
Adriel,
I can remember.
on a Saturday night in there, close the
Um,
door.
I I remember my mother telling me
Yeah.
that I had to do a minor surgery when I was about 3,
Uh huh.
and And when I was there in the room, and
Mm-hmm.
while the doctor was there doing all that they needed to do, I was there singing and just singing.
You're serious?
So that was my earliest memory of me singing is
Uh-huh.
at church, singing "Jesus Loves Me" at probably about 4, 5 thereabout. Um, yeah, so I've always been singing,
You've always
and
been singing.
yeah, and I was dedicated to music
Mm-hmm.
ministry at a very early age, and
Mm.
that prophecy and that dedication has manifested itself in my life over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no matter how I run away from music,
Mm-hmm.
it has always been a part of my life.
I got to understand.
So
I'm sorry. Continue. Continue. You
that's
said
pretty
so.
much it.
Oh, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. Because I got to understand that you're a teacher by profession.
Yes.
Is that what it is? You're a
Yes.
trained teacher.
Yes, I am.
Was it in music?
In business, actually.
Now people don't hear that. She no had no formal teaching training in music. She's a business teacher, and
But
yet still.
let's fix that. Let's fix that.
All right, let's fix that.
So I am I am a trained teacher, and
Mm-hmm.
as a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
you are trained to learn in order
Mm-hmm.
to impart.
Mm-hmm.
So all that I have learned in music through
Mm-hmm.
Royal School of Music and through experience, I am able to impart because I am a trained teacher from the University of Technology, right? At UTech, at UTech, I
Uh-huh.
studied business and computer studies.
Uh-huh.
So um, I, I, I practiced to teach POB, accounts, econ, all the IT, all the business subjects.
Really?
Um, yes, but with my experience in music,
Mm-hmm.
it is easy to transfer that knowledge
Mm-hmm.
um, and that expertise to the art of teaching music.
All right.
So
So you
that is
see,
how I'm able to teach music
so
as well as business.
you see, you should back me up a while ago. It's all right, Latin. No worry yourself. May I catch you later
Yeah.
on down in the show? You know, I'm gonna catch you later on down in the show. You don't only sing. I know that you. I know for a fact that you are very proficient at playing the keyboard, the piano.
Yes, sir.
Because I remember clearly at your album launch last year at Church on the Rock, you played the grand piano. And
Yes, I did.
I mean, I knew that you could play, but then when I saw you sitting down around the piano and actually, me, I said, wait, my friend gonna lead, and I just lead alone, and lead.
Lead, lead, lead.
All right,
Oh,
so
God.
now let's talk about your career as a recording artist. Now you've released songs like "I Want You for Christmas." I want you. I love that one. You did
Hmm.
"God Alone" in the reggae version.
Right.
You've done "Victory Dance." That is
Hmm.
another one that you did. Those are some of the singles that you pre-released. But
Right.
then you took a bold step last year and you actually launched your album, Latoya HD. How your name again?
Your way.
Your
Your
Way.
way.
Yeah, see that, that
Yes.
same thing. But everything then in my head is Latoya HD. Yeah, Your Way. Now, first and foremost, let me ask you, how did you arrive at naming the album Your Way?
The album has gone through so many changes, so many phases.
Mm-hmm.
This album was 10 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
So started out. So really and truly, all those singles that I had before that made up my EP really were supposed to be on the album. But,
Oh.
going over the years and yeah, okay, you see that the thing is taking a little longer than you would have anticipated. So, okay, you have to stay current. So let's release one song and release another song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my first single really was Heaven, and
Oh
then you did
yeah.
Victory Dance
Heaven is nice
and
too.
God Alone, You're God Alone in the
Mm-hmm.
reggae version, and that has done extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other songs started to come, and I remember one evening I was while I was on tour, I I got this song, Your Way. Like I was at a very frustrated point and I was just writing down my thoughts to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, Lord, try to do it on my own. Been through the
Mm-hmm.
logic, try to make sure, and all of those things. And then after that song was completed and looking
Mm-hmm.
at the other songs, everything else pointed to the title of this, which is Your
Right.
Way, God.
Mm-hmm.
So every other song, such as Eyes on Me or Praises or Good God, Miracle Worker,
Yeah.
Unfinished Task,
Right.
Here I Am, all of those um, at the helm of it
Mm-hmm.
is saying, God, I am surrendered to your way. I am
Mm.
surrendered to the fact that you are, sorry, that you are my miracle worker. I'm
Mm-hmm.
surrendered to the fact that in your presence, that is where my healing and deliverance and comfort will come.
Mm-hmm.
So it encapsulates every other song on the album,
So your way basically explained the album then
pretty much.
for each song because I mean I I I I I think of some of the songs on the album. I may say I'm not even gonna touch that right now, but some of the songs on the album they're so powerful and it showed that a lot of thought and a lot of prayer went
And a
into
lot of stress
and a lot
went into
but I mean
because they had to be going through something to be able to write some of those songs.
hold on, what you said a while ago? You had to be going through some
Going
things
through
in
stuff,
order
yeah.
to. All right, so
To,
this is my question to you. Before we go through the stuff we either go through,
mhm.
what made you think that last year was the right time to launch the album?
Because I said to the Lord, God, if this album is not finished in 2020, I'm not releasing it again.
So you literally said to him,
I
if it not
said,
finished, that's it.
I said, listen now, God, I've been at my wits' end with this album and I have given it my all. And I'm going to go with one last push. And if it's a
But
release
but even
2020,
in But even in the pushing, Lati, I remember you and I had several conversations, and you shared with me some of the struggles that you were going through because it didn't seem as if it was going to be possible. And
Mhm.
you specifically chose the time of year strategically because it was a strategic plan, you know. And when I actually saw it happening and I came to the album launch and I saw the type of production that came out, me I said, no wonder why she did stress brother cause this year production in a normal and it was in that era and I think it still has been one of the talk of how beautiful the production was. Give us a little insight on some of the things that you had to go through to create that wonderful production.
Um, I had to, I had to push myself to not settle. Um, there are times when, as I said, I try my very best to be excellent in everything that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that comes with a price. That comes, it's not cheap. That's
Right.
one,
Mm-hmm.
and two, you have to at times defend your need to go to a certain standard. And
Right.
and, and there will be some times when your own flesh will say, Latoya, just do that now so we can continue with we can continue with life. Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
do that. But no, um, you what you stand for and the very core of you begins to wrestle and say, hey, no, remember that this is going to be archived forever and ever. Amen. And when you
Mm-hmm.
look back at this 10, 20 years from now, are you going to be proud of the production that you put out? Yeah. So you cannot just think for the now, especially in this era that we're in now, where we're in such a global and online space,
Right.
and everything is now going online, and
Mm-hmm.
you can look back at it. Are you going to be proud of what you're looking back at 10 years from now? And so
Mm-hmm.
I had to push, I had to push to ensure that whatever it is that we were putting together, the band, the vocalists, the 100 voice choir, um,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I didn't quite reach the I didn't reach the 100 mark for the launch, uh, because some persons were just a little bit late in signing up. But
Mm-hmm.
I got to about 70 enough, probably almost 80
Mm-hmm.
persons in that choir that you saw, and just getting that together. There people are like, "How are you going to get 100 people from all across the island?" I said, "Well, I don't know, but it's gonna work." And
Exactly.
I tried different ways, and I just put it out, and we shared it. And the thing about it is the fact that I have worked with different types of people and different groups of people over the years. I've
Mm-hmm.
trained praise and worship teams, choirs, groups. I've worked in corporate. I've taught at schools, and
Right.
these persons are now all over the country. So I had persons coming in from Mobe, Sav, St.
Oh yeah.
Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
Maypen, Mandeville, St. Mary, all right across the island.
Yeah.
And we had we had virtual rehearsals. I sent out the parts and all of these things, and and then we started to come together in clusters and stuff. And persons came from country when we had the full rehearsal. Persons came from way, and we came together, did the rehearsal, and it was
Mm.
epic. And so that element was great. The
Mm-hmm.
getting the grand piano to make that
Aye.
statement.
Mm-hmm.
um I'm just so happy that it was available at Church on the Rock,
Mm-hmm. Right.
to use that. And
Yeah.
that picture, I'm still seeing that picture in my mind, and it was, just wonderful. And I know that looking back at that, they say, yeah, that did shot. That
No, for real,
that
still
did shot.
it did sell off. It did like
Yeah.
totally sell off.
So the graphics and trying to get the best persons in the industry
Mm-hmm.
to carry that out, and
Right.
um and it building relationships. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
very happy for the relationships that I have with persons over the years,
Mm-hmm.
um that enabled me to have these connections to make it possible. So that's just some of the things that I had to go through to ensure that it happened. Having a wonderful team around me, my
Mm-hmm.
Heart Cry Worship Committee, that because it was nestled in the Heart Cry Worship Conference,
Right.
and so my team helped me along that way to make sure that all the I's were dotted, all the T's were crossed. And having a wonderful engineer come from the States, Canute, to make it happen, and to be the technical director for it.
Mm-hmm.
We go back 20 odd years and stuff. So just the different elements coming together
Right.
to make it happen. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the way how it unfolded, it was almost flawless. Some a persons from outside looking in would I say, yo, there was nothing wrong. Everything was perfect because of the way it was presented. And even to this very day, I still have it in my head. How the thing just it is just nice. The
So
choir
for persons
was
who did not get to come, I'm
bay.
so sorry.
No, a bay. But
Yeah, but
nevertheless, don't worry, we
it
have
will
something
be
for you.
it will be
We have
available.
something
It
for
will
you.
be available soon. I'm putting it together. I'm thinking about packaging it,
Mm-hmm.
um, your way live,
Sounds
and
very good.
make that available on demand kind of a thing. So
Oh.
that is in the pipeline. So
Mm.
yeah, we can just persons can just hold on a little bit, and we'll have that in due season. But
In
until
due
then,
season. Until then, we have lots more happening. Until then, if you've just joined me, I'm speaking with Latoya HD, and we're talking about a whole lot of stuff. We're talking about how she is a singer, and we're not even gone to the fact that she is a baker yet. Hold on. We soon talk about that. We're gonna go over to the chat right now. So we have Cario Young saying, "Let's go." Tech Channel TV say, "Lego me artist." Ray Nadine Walker is watching. Sanjina Davis shout out Lati, and she says, "Amazing album." Melissa Smith says, "Evening." Oh, all right. What about Melissa? Big up yourself. Delia Salmon, blessed evening to all. Yamik Radic says, "Beautiful outlook."
I
And
read it.
Rohan Williams say, "You're better." All right. All right. Okay, so now you have transitioned from just singing in the hospital when this procedure was happening, just singing "Jesus Love Me This I Know" at 4 years old, and now you are a household name, Latoya HD. The journey between the 4 years old and now, how has it been?
It has been a journey of mountains and valleys. It
Journey
has
of mountains and valleys.
it it has, and I mean, throughout all of that,
Yes.
an amazing journey, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very grateful to God for the opportunities that I would have had in this journey. I've had the opportunity to work with some very great people,
Mm-hmm.
and also some very stressful people. And I've learned in the process of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I started learning to play the piano at age 7, and from there started to play in church. But you start out
Yeah.
in youth
Yep.
fellowship and
Mm-hmm.
FTH.
And
Yeah,
FTH
because you
training
can't, if
ground.
you can't play good, you can't
Yeah.
go big church. So, so I started out in FTH and children's church and
Uh
youth
huh.
fellowship and
Yeah.
stuff. And at the age of 10, when my music teacher, Delroy Thomas, felt that, okay, she ready for big church now,
Mm-hmm.
he put me in big church, and I've been in big church ever since.
From the
Um,
moment you were transferred to big church in a leave.
I've not been back to children's church
Oh my God! Nothing back to children's church. Now, how old were
because
you
I'm
at that
rough
time?
fun to play in big church.
So
I
how
was
old were
10,
you? So you've been in big church playing since you were 10?
since 10, since 10.
Get out
Um,
of here.
and as a result of that, I moved very quickly through the former years. So like children's choir, junior choir, I
Mm-hmm.
moved through those very quickly. So I was one of the I was one of the youngest, if not the youngest, member of the
Wow.
youth choir. At the time, youth choir was 18 and over, and I was 10 and 11 and 12. And but I was holding my own in the
Mm-hmm.
choir.
You
I was
must.
able to sing my part when Auntie Marcia and Auntie Jeannie would give me my part myself. And I remember Karine and I were the
Which
monster altos,
which carrying
uh,
that?
as in Karine Wisdom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we grew up together at Clifton Church, and
Okay.
we were the monsters in the altar line. And when we open
Mm.
our mouth, remember me tell you, everybody else not have to say. Yeah. and and I remember like some person started to have an issue with it because she needs to go on the junior choir. How is it going to look for the others? The others who want to come on big choir and all
Mm-hmm.
those things. And I remember my pastor at the time I remember my pastor at the time, Reverend AJ Whitaker, said,
Uh,
leave the child, make the child stay. And
oh my
that
God.
was how everybody kind of just back off, you know.
Bishop
And
talk. Bishop talk.
from
Mm-hmm.
there it just evolved. At age 14, I started playing keyboards for Grace Thrillers, and
Oh, come
that was
again.
a
At age what?
major 14.
Well, you say a while ago, like you played keyboard for grade students at age 14, aged
Yes,
14.
1 4. Yes, one. Yeah,
No,
one.
one four. Yeah, 1 4. Really? No, no, I never knew that. I never
Yeah,
knew. So how was that? I mean, how was that for you? Cause
that
fourth.
was that was exciting, because I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Willis are my godparents, so that one
Mm-hmm.
set of my godparents, because I have
Right.
probably about 3 or 4 sets.
Are
I
you
have
blessed?
wonderful godparents,
Are
yes,
you
and
blessed?
um, they when I used to sing with the kids in Young Thrillers,
Uh huh.
because we all went to primary school together and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to sing together as Young Thrillers, and then when the time came for me to audition, because
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Delroy Thomas, my music teacher, he played bass for Thrillers at the time,
Oh, okay.
and said, "All right, me I rope you, you know." So
Mm-hmm.
go in and audition and stuff, and passed, and that was it. And then I spent 3 months in rehearsals before I could do my first show,
Wow.
because at the time I Thrillers was at their what 14th album
14.
when
So,
when
hold
I
on,
start
hold on,
when
hold on.
I joined
So, you're
the
14
album. So I
and
had to learn 14 albums um
you had to learn
to
all 14
before I
albums?
could do my first show.
Oh, you're frozen on my side. I don't know what is happening, but I'm still hearing you. All right, now I think I see you. Come
Huh?
back.
Say
No,
that again.
I was saying that you were frozen from on my side, but no, I think I see you trying to fight back. You see,
Yeah.
these things always happening. Anytime the thing get nice, the internet gives problem, and I will rebuke the internet in the name of Jesus. Stay how you're
Work.
supposed to stay. You better work. No, you're 14 and Grace Thrillers, they're at their 14th album. You, you,
Yeah, I
you, you,
just realized that
you
actually.
see that? You see how that is? So now you had to
Mhm.
learn. So you're 14, Grace Thrillers at their 14th album, and you had to learn
Mhm.
14 songs.
No, it's not 14 songs, 14 albums worth of songs.
Oh, 14 albums. Lord of
Yeah.
mercy. And Grace Thrillers
So,
album not less than 10 songs. No 10 songs and more.
true. Exactly.
What you said to me a while ago, Latoya? So
Hmm.
you had to learn like more than 100 songs. No wonder why you're so
Yeah.
good when it comes to music and being able to say, all right, give me that or the thing too high and stuff like that. A long time
Yeah,
that field of
because
music, you know?
in that time, in that training period, you're trained to listen to the material,
Mm-hmm.
and listen to the material and get the discipline of reproducing that material. Yeah. So is it's not about, your own interpretation from the get-go. It's about learning what is there first,
Mm-hmm. Right.
learning the arrangement first,
Mm-hmm.
and then embellishing. Yeah.
Learning what is there,
Because
learn
you
the
have to
arrangement.
appreciate the work, the body of work that is actually there. And that's one, anybody who passed through Grace Thrillers would learn that discipline, especially as a musician. You
Mm-hmm.
learn back the horns line as is, because Thriller's songs are signature songs, and
Oh, yeah.
the different elements of the song, persons, if you don't play it right, the audience know.
Yep, that's true.
Right?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
If you're playing Amen and you don't go Da 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 da. Papa tiki tika papa da da. And if you don't play it right, people will, but you not play the thing right, man. Cause them singing it.
They must sing the music. A
They're
Jamaicans that
singing the
enough.
line.
That is a Jamaican thing. I can testify to it because every time I hear a song, yeah, you best believe that I'm playing the any part of the instrumental.
Yeah, they're
I'm playing with
right.
my
So
mouth.
you learn those signature parts, and then from there
Mm-hmm.
you can embellish and so forth once the opportunity presents itself. Yeah,
Wow.
and then so that went on for a number of years,
Mm-hmm.
and then after one of the singers died. That's Rochelle. She
Oh
met in
wow.
an accident and
Mm.
she died, and that was when I transitioned from playing to singing with thrillers.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
It's
and and
unfortunate
the,
that that's how you matriculated into singing, but I mean that
no,
would
because
have.
I started. They started to put a mic at the keyboard um, before that, so I was playing and singing, and then after she died, they asked me to come forward.
So now about how old were you at that time? Like I can't say
I was
nothing.
probably I was I was probably about 17, about 17 at that time now.
So you would have been with Grace Thrillers for 3 years at least
Yeah.
at that time. So you would have known their songs inside out because you would have been on I would call it a probation, a probatory period for 3 months, learning everything in the all 14 songs. Lord
Yeah,
have mercy.
because with thrillers, you don't get a set list. You don't get a set list. You
I
just
what?
in the middle of one song, Uncle Leroy just, or Uncle Noel turn around and tell you what song is coming next. And you have to
Uh,
know the key for the song, you have to know the intro for the song, and have to know the tempo for the song because it's not all the time they're going to stop and talk in between.
mm-hmm.
The song just rolling off one after the other. I remember my first show in Montego Bay. Jesus have mercy. Yeah. Listen, man. I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous. And when I got through that, and Uncle Noel and Uncle Leroy said, yes, Lati, you did good, you did good. And the other musicians were there with me because they didn't really give me a lot of the lead parts at the time. So I
Mm,
anchored it with that
mm-hmm.
M141 bang. So yeah, I had to bang and shuffle and all of that. So that was, I was anchoring it while the other keyboard player was doing more of the lead lines and stuff until
Oh.
little by little they gave
Mm-hmm.
me a few one until I I became one of the keyboard players after Hugh migrated and Roy, and so all of the when the new musicians came in, because musicians transition,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. I would imagine.
Crystal is one big empire of a school. So
Yeah, I could
you would
imagine.
have a lot of persons coming through at different points, um, to the point where I was able to audition some people
What you said
for
to me a while ago?
for thrillers and musicians and stuff. Dave Green
Dave
will
Primetime Green?
tell you, he always talks about it. Like I he's the one who actually reminds me of it a lot. He said, Latoya audition me for thrillers, me,
Oh my
you know.
god.
But thrillers has molded me into, it played a major part
Mm.
in molding me into the artist that I am today, into the trainer entity, um, the discipline of harmonies, and working with Grub Cooper is like none other.
Mm.
That was where I developed my love for background vocal arrangement, seeing Grub arrange vocals for Thrillers and for other artists and stuff, and he'll come and say, okay, sing this, and him just tell you it on the spot, and we just sing it, and we may not understand it all at once, but when you hear everything come together, it's
Together.
like, oh my god, you know, and so that is where it comes from. Watching Auntie Shirley perform, and everybody knows the dynamic performer that Auntie Shirley is. And
Yeah.
so a lot of movements, and so it kind of rubbed off on me. It kind of rubbed off on me. Yeah, and then from there I was able to teach music at UTech, teach the UTech choir, and different schools and churches, and here I am today.
But all of this thing is news to me. Me and your friend for all them time, and I never knew half of what you just talk about, I
Yeah,
never knew half of
it's
what
not
you just
necessarily.
spoke
It would have
about.
to be forums like these that would get me to talk about it so much, because as far as I see it, I'm just you know a soldier in the army on the battlefield for my lord. Yes, and I'm just I'm just serving and learning as I go on. I'm not too big to learn something new from someone. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to be better, trying to develop on whatever it is that I already have. And as I learn, I impart and try to duplicate myself in other people.
Wow, I am really amazed. If you've just joined us, we're talking with Latoya Hall down Latoya HD. She is so affectionately called, or HD, or Lati, all them something there. Let's go to what persons are saying on the chat. Melissa Smith says Denny talk about the training of Grace for Grace Thrillers all the time, as he also sang with them. Dennis Smith, you need to give me a talk, as I never know you used to sing with Grace Thrillers. We even didn't know so you could have sing so well. But God bless your soul. Very good. Awesome. Nadine says to ask you, which do you prefer, playing the piano or singing?
Um, um, you know, I have to be careful how I answer that question. The Lord will beat me.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
um, I love singing for this season of my life
Okay.
because of what it has allowed me to do, and how it has allowed me to impart and impact others. There was a season earlier on where my playing did more impacting than my singing.
Okay.
And so I can't say that I prefer singing to playing, because playing has helped my singing.
Good
Um,
job.
so, yes, and I don't play as much as I used to. I don't play as much as I used to, but I still need to. Let's put it that way.
All right. So now you are at this point in your life, married, child. My big friend Gabs, what's she there? Big up her. Big up
It's
yourself,
stressing me out
Gabs.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I know, I know. I see a hiding somewhere every now and then.
Yeah, you know.
But let's talk about the vision of Hard Cry. Now, Hard Cry is what, in its fifth year this year,
Hmm.
and it has been a pretty remarkable journey. A lot of people wouldn't know what Hard Cry is, and they wouldn't even understand how much it has been doing overall, you know. So let's talk a little bit about that. How did you get to that point where you wanted to start Hard Cry?
All right. So, um, as a praise and worship leader, you find that you are. involved in the whole church experience.
Mm-hmm.
As long as church keeping,
Yeah, they did.
praise and worship have to
Yeah,
be
man.
there.
Yep.
Um, and from time to time you get weary. From
Mm-hmm.
time to time you get burnt out. Some persons don't like to don't like to admit it,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a fact. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get weary, sometimes you get burnt out, sometimes you feel like you're running on empty and you
Mm-hmm.
need um an oasis to kind of just recalibrate, just take a break,
Mm-hmm.
recoup, and fill up and go again.
Yeah.
And I I had that need. And out of having that need, the
Mm-hmm.
Lord laid it on my heart to create the response or to create the solution. You
Wow.
know?
Wow.
I remember the night and I could not sleep. It's like the Lord just I wrestled. I'm tired, and I just couldn't sleep.
Mm-mm.
And the Lord just downloaded the entire concept to me, wrote it down, um, spoke with my cousin, um, through marriage, Samantha Gooden, and we worked through it. She's a success coach, the life coach
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
person, and
Mm-hmm.
she walked me through the process and said, "Come on, now, Latoya, we're gonna do this, and these are the deadlines. So you have to get this done by this date and that done by that date, and and I got the entire thing done for the first year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so refreshing, and the response I got from persons who attended,
Mm.
it was an excellent production. The information was so potent and rich. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
want it to end, and the sessions were too short and all of that. So it really created that oasis, that break from your
Mm-hmm.
regular church life, your
Right.
regular church responsibilities for
Right.
a day or two. We
Mm-hmm.
had to split it up into 2 days. When we did it first, it was one day, but it
One
just
day.
wasn't
Yeah.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it just wasn't enough. And so we started doing it over 2 days where we would have the worship experience,
Mm-hmm.
which always I try for it to be a practical demonstration of what we teach in the workshops.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if we're saying that you need to hone your craft as a praise and worship leader, because it is a craft. It is not just choosing two, three fast song and two slow song and go up there and say, if the Lord has been good to you, praise the Lord. No,
Mm-hmm.
there is an art to praise and worship, to leading praise and worship, to music ministry, and
Mm-hmm.
it is an evolving craft as
Mm.
well. And so if we're saying to you that you need to be strategic with how you plan your songs and so forth, we try to demonstrate that in the worship experience. So yes, you're having a wonderful time where you are just poured into. You are not you don't have to be bothered or boggled with, oh, I am leading praise and worship and I have to, dig deep to lead the people into the presence of the Lord. You
Mm-hmm.
can be refreshed. So it provides that. It also provides a network of persons who are in music ministry. So you
Mm-hmm.
get to link with persons from other churches and build some form of camaraderie,
Mm-hmm.
to encourage you to say, hey, you're not alone in this. Yeah. If you have a question, you can call and ask, and if you need some support, in persons message me all the while.
Mm-hmm.
Latoya, this is my worship set for Sunday. Can you look at it and let me know what you think, or if it you know and things like that. And yeah, and so it provides that kind of support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And over the years, the other performing arts arms have gotten a little jealous, so what happened to the dance and what happened
What
to the
happened to the?
sign language and
Mm-hmm.
so we have incorporated that into the whole music and performing arts ministry. So there is empowerment for that. I remember we did 1 year where we had Nikisha Jones from Lord Dance Ministry and
Mm-hmm.
Sister Laureen Pinnock, who
Mm-hmm.
is a production guru.
Extraordinaire,
Is
yeah.
yeah, tell you. So they were able to pour into those persons for that year. We've extended it now to multimedia and AV
Yes,
because
I
that
remember
that
that.
works, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and sound engineers
Mm-hmm.
because that it's one unit. Yeah, different departments, but it's one unit because they
Mm-hmm.
work together to make the church experience, yeah, successful and productive,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what Heart Cry is about. So I just take this opportunity to encourage all the pastors that may watch this, the praise and worship leaders. Once
Mm-hmm.
you're involved in music ministry, performing arts ministry, you're a sound engineer, you're a technical director, Heart Cry Worship is for you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it deals with the holistic development of the person. We're not just looking at, your spiritual life and, you have to be holy because the Lord is holy, which is paramount, and we deal with that. But there are other aspects. There's the emotional aspect because you have to go home to a family. You can be lonely, you can be depressed, and because as Levites, we are at the front line of the battle, and we get more lick than regular. We get more
Mm-hmm.
attack than regular. So
Right.
we have more. We deal with a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
under the pressure of having to lead people into the presence of God, having to show up and execute every week, having to
Right.
be at the sound, the engineer's booth to manage the frequencies so that the gospel can go forth with clarity.
Mm.
Yeah. So Hard Cry provides that forum for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to be empowered.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
from a spiritual level, a technical level, a psychological level, and emotional level. Yeah,
Yeah.
last year we had Colette. Was it last year or the year before?
It
We
was the year
had
before.
year before when we
Mm-hmm.
had Colette Curlew come in and we did psychoanalysis and all of these things. So it's very holistic. It's very holistic, and
It
I'm
is.
very proud of where it has come, and I'm really looking forward to this year.
Yes, so let's talk about, before we talk about this year, let's talk about last year. We spoke about the aspect of the album launch, the album the album launch
Come on now,
last year.
diction.
Yes, yes. Let me get myself together. We spoke about your album launch last year, but let's talk about the heart cry aspect of it because Heartcry actually preceded the album launch. So we had sessions. It was one day too, right? Was it?
Yes,
Was it one day, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we try to keep it in
So
the one day.
one day in the one day because we went down to Manchester the second year. We had a camp out. No, that one they did nice.
That was so good.
Yeah, water did cold, but it nice. We had Maurice Griffith. That was his name, right?
Griffin,
Griffin,
yes,
yes. He was the BET Sunday Best winner.
finalist,
Finalist, yes,
yes.
finalist. And the following year we came back
We
in
had
to
Isaiah that
town.
year too,
Isaiah Raymond that year, yes. Yes, we did, yes. That's the first time I met
and
Isaiah.
he's coming back this
And
year. He's
hold
gonna
on,
be
wait no man, I get too excited. Hold on, wait no man, wait no
sorry.
bridging, wait man, wait. And we came back into Kingston. Family Church on Rock was it when we came back? Did we? Was it there that we went? Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
man. We had it for 2 years there.
yes,
So we
yes.
came back to Family Church on the Rock the year after, and then last year we came back. No, the year before was
Deconstruction.
Deconstruction Called to Be, and no, what I've realized with the themes that you've been presenting is that you mash up people.
Did
I
it mash
don't
me up
know.
first? It's not my fault, you know.
I hold on, wait, and I say, and all the while if you fling off where you get from other people miss. I'm joking. I'm joking. In that regard, it's very good. So you got you deconstruction called to be last year. No, we got deconstructed. Now
Lay
last
aside the
year
weight.
you give us a synopsis of how you got to the theme. Tell us the theme. Tell us how you got to that theme, and get into what will be coming this year.
So, from the year of deconstruction,
Mm-hmm.
even before that conference was finished,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord gave me the word shift.
Lord mercy.
I was like, do God, go easy, you know? Me just deconstruct.
Deconstruct.
Me never done deconstruct, you know? And
Oh my
and he gave me the
God.
theme for the next year. And right through, like, it came with such conviction that every time I heard the word,
Mm-hmm.
something in me moved literally,
Literally.
literally. Like I was, every time I heard the word shift, it's like I
Mm.
got flushed. Like, and I was like, okay, God, how are we gonna be sustained in this? How are we gonna go through this?
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I got the acronym. Yeah, so he
Mm-hmm.
said, yes, there's a shift that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
How do we prepare for this shift?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sanctification,
Mm-hmm.
holiness,
Mm-hmm.
intercession,
Mm-hmm.
faith,
Oh Lord of mercy.
testimony.
Woo. Sanctification, holiness, intercession, faith, testimony. That is what he revealed to you. Now,
Yep.
before you even continue, you realize that after that heart cry, the shift happened
One
immediately.
week, 1 week after
Because heart cry was the 29th, the
of February,
last day of February. And the following week,
we were
and,
on
and, and
lockdown.
and the shift wasn't just one little move across the boss. It was a mega shift.
You
And
know, like in mathematics, you have movement along the line,
mm,
and
no
then
line
you
never
have
did this.
those, and then you have the shift. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it wasn't a movement.
It was the
It was
movement.
a
It when after, I mean, even now talking to you, it is even driven more home to me how God literally, it's like a parable. It was like a parable because he didn't specifically say, yo, this is gonna happen, you know. But he, for those who were there, it was like a preparation session because every single person that came had something. Joseph Roach came with something specifically. Reverend Neva came with
mm-hmm,
something. Marjorie came with something. Kanye came with
mm-hmm,
something.
mm-hmm,
Reverend Courtney
mm-hmm,
McLean.
not clean.
And I'm saying to myself, I wonder if Latoya realize. I mean, after COVID started, I wondered, but you and I had the conversation. And I
Mm-hmm.
asked if you realize, and then you got him about the new theme for this year. Latoya, I need to stop you.
And the Lord gave me that
At the
in the
end of
middle
Hard
of the
Cry,
shift. Yeah.
what is the theme for
So
this
I
year?
don't know what is the theme for next year. Lord of mercy. I don't,
What is the theme? What is the
but
theme for this year?
the theme for this year is new dimension.
You know what? Let me see if I can find, I can't find it now. Did you know that in your song, Your Presence, you mentioned New Dimension? You realize you never realize it.
Afterwards, I realized it.
When
And
I
that was
watched it today, and I
confirmation to me that the Lord was dealing with me with that new theme before I was able to reveal it.
when I watched the thing today, that is what blew my mind. Because I'm saying you did not mention new dimension any at all. But yet still when you were ministering your presence inside of the song, when no script named there, you said God is taking us to a new dimension. And I'm saying, what is wrong with this young lady? How did you? And I mean, now we're here. We are in 2021. 2020 created a type of shift that no one was prepared for. Not even us that were at Heartcry was not prepared for the shift that happened in 2020.
Of that magnitude, yep.
Not of the magnitude, because I remember when Pastor Courtney McLean, he was talking and he said, when especially when you're watching the review, remember that review that we did before your album launch, and he said that there's going to be a shift, and it God God I know you just get that off of your own. God downloaded it in your spirit so that you could present it, and now look at what happened March coming all the way into this year. What are your expectations for Heart Cry 2021, a new dimension?
For us to for us to acknowledge the fact that yeah, the shift has taken place,
Mm-hmm.
and how do we respond? How do we operate in this new dimension?
Mm-mm.
How are we going to maintain? See, this year is not is it's a year where we have to be fully submitted to the Lord.
Mm.
Yeah. So we have to you see how things on time stay. Life today is very, it was uncertain before, but it's much more uncertain now.
Mm.
Everybody is on edge, and like it's like something is hovering, and it can pop at any moment.
Mm.
We have to stay in the presence of God. We have to stay in the will of God. We have to understand who we are and
Mm-hmm.
operate as such. Yeah. We have done enough of the the facade. We have done enough of the rituals. We've done enough of the same old, same old. It's time now for us to tap into what the Lord is doing now. It's time for us to now tap into what God is saying, because He's gonna move. He's gonna
Mm.
move. And trust me, I don't want to be left out of it. I want to be right there, smack in the middle of it. I
Mm.
want to be an oracle that He can use to 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 usher His people in. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
this the new dimension is, and it's not just a new dimension of worship. It's a new dimension right across the board, right across the board of business, a new dimension of how we do business, a new dimension of our vocation, a new dimension of
Mm-hmm.
how we study the word, and our yearning for the word, how we
Mm.
it's a whole new dimension. We talk about new normal. Yeah, it's new dimension. So we can't operate the same way that we did before the
Mm-hmm.
shift.
Before
God Almighty, I cannot manage. Jesus.
it is, it is pretty amazing how God can just reveal some things to us in simple ways, and because we see it as so simple, we don't even realize how impactful it is. And a lot of people, what I realize over the years is that a lot of people, we spend time on the things that aren't important. Things, a lot of the times we spend time on things that will not edify us. And when I see conferences like Heart Cry, I believe wholeheartedly that it should be so full that you have to be telling people we can't hold anymore
But you see,
because
one of the issues is
mm-hmm,
that um, one of the issues that we have in music ministry is that we don't understand who we are.
mm,
We don't understand who we are. We don't understand the fact that we are more than just the keyboard player for the service,
mm-hmm,
that we're more than just the bass player, we're more than just the drummer. And
mm-hmm,
when preachers start, we're going outside. A lot of times
mm-hmm,
we make things bad for ourselves. And if
mm,
we don't take ourselves seriously, Pastor can't take us seriously. Pastor may see potential in you, but if you don't take yourself seriously, then it's almost like being a teacher.
mm-hmm,
If I'm teaching a class of 40, which is a norm in our education system
mm-hmm,
before COVID, right? If you have an issue
mm-hmm,
and you don't say to me, Miss, I'm having an issue with this topic, can you explain it to me further? I'm not necessarily going to know outside of my discerning and how you may work your responses to work and activities that I may give you. If you genuinely have a major issue with that topic, you need to show the interest as the student to say, hey, Miss, I don't understand this. Can you give me a little deeper insight into this? Can you explain this again to me? Yes, that's why I need extra lessons sometime. But you have to show the interest. So a
mm,
lot of time, us as music practitioners, we don't see the need to invest in ourselves. We don't see
mm-hmm,
the need to invest um, in the, as I said earlier, the craft that we have. Um, Now we're in a space of online church where everybody now is forced to be online
mm-hmm,
because of the restrictions that we are now under.
mm-hmm.
And it has shown up a lot
Me,
of
look here,
a lot
let me
of
tell you,
churches, a lot
let
of
me tell you,
worship teams, a lot
let
of
me tell you.
musicians.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, it show you up. Why? Because you felt that, oh, because it was your little 20 people or your little 100 people
mm-hmm,
within the building that was hearing you, that you didn't need to build on what you already had, that you didn't need to improve and develop.
mm.
Now, when you listen back to yourself and say, my gosh,
What is that?
and you are now and you're now competing, believe it or not, you're
Mm-hmm.
competing for people's attention
Oh
because
yes.
social media is saturated now.
Mm-hmm.
How
Mm-hmm.
are you going to keep your audience? First of all, your picture must look good,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we're going to be talking about that in Hard Cry too. Prepping for online church. Canute is going to be talking about that, the whole
Mm-hmm.
production process, what kind of equipment you need to use, how to
Mm-hmm.
stream, and all of
Mm-hmm.
those kind of a things. So your picture needs to be captivating. Your sound needs to be good. So your engineer needs to understand the whole streaming thing and how it sounds within the building is not so it sound coming through
Not at all.
the social media platform
Not at
and all
all.
of those things. So these things that we take for granted now
Mm-hmm.
have magnified themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
and now we're in a pickle.
You know, one of the things, Latoya, just before you continue, a lot of the times, and I learned this just since the whole online church started. When you are actually inside the building, you do not hear half of what is really happening.
It's a
Is when it start
production that goes out.
it is when it start coming through the speaker, you hear all of the off key, You hear all of the monotones, you hear all of the wrong lines musically, and you're saying, where was this all along? It has always been happening.
It has always
But
been there.
because you are so caught up in what is happening inside the building, you don't even realize what is happening. And I literally had to take a step back and look at the whole online thing. I mean, I said, this, it now work if you don't make some changes and sort out who need to sort out and put who need to put where and stuff. I mean,
Then you
I believe.
wonder why some churches have had to minimize their worship team to the those who carry forth the best sound.
Mm,
And yeah, you may feel bad if you don't make the number, but what are you going to do about it? Mope? No, you're not. You need to go and develop on what it is that you have. If it is that you need to practice more, you need to go to one and two conferences, you need to do one and two courses, you need to sign up for some vocal training, you need to go and get some music lessons. Do what you need to do so that you are able, because believe it or not, even though we're doing church and we're doing ministry, we're also putting out a product.
mm.
Your church experience is a product, believe it or not.
I think one of the things that we keep tricking
I
ourselves
need to
with,
do that topic, the business of ministry. Yeah, I
say,
need to do.
and say that you got the idea right here on Chill and Chat. Say that right here on Chill and Chat. But one other thing is that we're often tricked or fooled by persons saying, because I've had the experience of people that said to me, say, boy, you can play, you can play bass. But then when I hear like a Chad or a Mikey or a Ron, God Almighty, you realize that you are nowhere. And if I keep listening to, yeah man, you can play in my little circle,
You don't grow.
you don't grow. And it's the same thing with singing. Not because you're able to say, you can hold your note, or you can do a little one little slur and stuff. It takes more than just being able to do that, because once you come up against persons who actually have the experience, or persons who have the training, you can look like one little flaw.
Listen, as much as persons say, "Oh, Latoya, you're such an excellent singer," and all of that and all of that, there are still some people who say, "Okay, Latoya, you need to develop on this, and you need to practice that some more, and you need to do,
Hmm.
and there is still much further to go, because as they always say in Maslow's hierarchy, once you get to self-actualization in one area, the bar now has been raised, so you're now aspiring to another level of self-actualization. So as you grow, you aspire to grow more. You're always learning. Trust me, there is always something new to learn. There is always a new creative expression. There is always a new music form to tap into. Yes. And then when you're armed with all of that, develop the art of knowing when to use what. Because you can't put everything into one song.
From do, re, mi, right back to do.
Everything cannot fit in one song. So all the runs that you know cannot fit into one song. All the chords that you know, all the syncopations that they cannot fit into one song. But you learn it, and you build up a database, a bank of information, and then you develop the art of placement. Music is the combination of sound and silence. There is a place in
Uh,
music for silence. Space.
there's yeah, there's a place in music for silence, and
Yes.
it might sound as if it not make no sense, but you have to have rest.
Listen, Oti always tell me that it's the combination of sound and silence. Because when you read the music score, you have rests in there,
You
you know.
have rests.
You
You
have
have
rests.
rests. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have rest.
So you have to use up those rests. You can't put everything into one song. Yeah, but we digress. Yes. So right, come back to the point now. You need to get to the point where in the Bible where the the Levites, those Levites, they spent time
Mm-hmm.
honing their craft. Yeah, because that was their duty.
Mm-hmm.
That was their duty, and in understanding your duty, in
Mm-hmm.
understanding that how you play can chase demons, how you sing can deliver somebody, how you play the drums can war on somebody's behalf. It's not just, plucking some strings and yeah, it's much more than that. You shift atmospheres with your worship.
Mm.
Yeah. So how you change the slide. If you change the multimedia slide one line too late, and you make the praise and worship leader who's supposed to know the words of the song but need a little reinforcement, and you change it too late and you make sure for mumble, you're going to hinder somebody's worship, believe it or not.
Mm. So everybody has a part to play.
Everybody has a part to play. You ever been in church yet and the multimedia person switch the slide late and you
Or
say,
too
oh,
early.
you are too early and you know finish the line yet, but you don't know it and you have to go,
Let me testify a bit. But hold on. Before we testify,
oh
let us get to
gosh.
some of this. Jamina Patient said, all right. So Brittany Gratfield says, what she said? Brittany Getfield says, preach. Jamina says shellings. Jamina says remember those who on go register for this year. So Jamina send and go register. Spuropen.com. We'll get that in later on, but no on yourself. Brittany says last year was amazing. Annalisa says last year was epic. Veronica Jones says register guys, gonna be epic as usual. Delia
Oh, my
Salmon
mom is
says
on.
shoot your mom
Mhm.
is there. Who name your mom?
Yes, Elise Hall.
Oh, hey, what
Hey,
the?
mommy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mom. Yeah, man. I met her last year. You and she and your father.
Yes,
Yeah, your father and I had a very good conversation. I'm not even going to mention
I'm
what happened
sure
in that
y'all did.
conversation. Veronica Jones says yes, so profound. I think we were talking about the music and going to get your stuff sorted out. Karen Richards Johnson says it's very important that we constantly invest in ourselves, constantly seeking opportunities to improve our craft. After all, God deserves our best. Annalisa says,
Amen.
thank you for last year, Latoya. I need more of that because I feel too comfortable at times concerning my voice. Kerry Ann says, trust me, Anna, I love the challenge. It drives me to improve. Our sister Kerry could not sing so high. I wonder how she managed that part. Never gonna leave.
Listen,
Okay.
it was amazing.
And
My
I was.
LHD choir, love him. Mwah. LHD vocals, I love it. Mwah. LHD band management, love it.
Yes!
Mwah. LHD husband, I
LHD
love
was
you.
one.
Mwah.
Tell Charlotte I don't see money here. Tell Charlotte to make sure him log on. What
He's
is wrong with
working
him?
late.
Oh,
He's
he's working late.
working late. He's
All
at
right. So
work.
so 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 now we are here. You said a lot a while ago, and I remember when we're talking about the fact that the multimedia persons change the thing too early. I remember I was singing with the men's quartet at
Oh,
church.
Jesus.
Heard the song one time with the words and lyrics, and they said, the multimedia AV team will put it up on the screen. Glory to God.
Anybody to learn it, don't.
I didn't put any much effort in it. And the day came, big Sunday morning. With the camera there for me. Prelude start, AV no put up your words yet.
Mhm.
Prelude play again, AV no put up your words yet. I may
You have
say,
to just
Lord
say,
have
can
mercy.
somebody worship the Lord?
I say, Latoya, they started singing. And I don't know the words. One at a time, and me have one verse I lead, you know. And when it go, me no and it's when you said this note that I'm realizing how important it is for everybody to be on the same page,
Yes.
because the importance of each arm, so to speak, will make the thing complete. And no, sir,
The
Lord have
entire
mercy.
experience productive.
Let me
So
ask you a question.
it's not about performing arts over there so and musicians over there so and the clang and the clique and the whatever and who better than who.
That
One
is not
kingdom,
in it. One
one
kingdom.
kingdom, one kingdom. Make it worse in the same church is one church experience.
Mm.
Yeah, and leaders, praise and worship leaders or performing arts leaders of these ministries
Mm-hmm.
need to understand and also spend time developing the craft of how to bring everybody together. Yeah, how do you pull everything together? How do you pull the entire arms together and mash down that lie of segregation?
And people, for those who are listening, know all of what we're talking about is what is some is a like a precursor to what is going to be happening at the next Heart Cry worship conference.
Yep, yep.
So if you want in-depth knowledge and information, we're gonna talk about how you can register, how you can get your early bird rate, and how you can be a part of something special we're gonna happen, because only early bird persons will be able to get something that is going into happen. So listen up, right?
That's all we're telling them.
That
That's
is
all
all
we're
we're going
telling
to
them.
tell you. That is
That's
all
all
we're
we're
going to
telling
tell
them.
you. If you're not early bird, the worm are gonna go back into the earth and you're not gonna catch him.
Mm-mm-mm. Somebody else is going to catch the
So,
worm.
oh, somebody say, okay, all right, I like that one day. So if you don't get, somebody say, I get the worm, and him I go, you're now getting the worm again. Understand? Let's talk about the process of registering for Hardcry New Dimension.
Okay, so you go to spuropen.com slash
Mm-hmm.
hardcry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Spur Open has been sponsor for Hardcry from day one. Wendy Lawrence heads my management team as well. And I've been, very grateful for their input. I can say that I was one of the first. The Hard Cry was one of the first events that was launched on Spur Open, in its
Mm,
beginning years.
what you
And
saying?
oh yes, oh yes,
Big up
oh yes.
Wendell.
Yes, so you go to Spur Open, that's SPURROPEN.com slash hard cry. The
Mm-hmm.
registration cost is $4,000. It's much
Mm-hmm.
less than what it was before. So that's the COVID price.
COVID price. That's a
Yeah,
COVID price.
it's gonna be virtual this year because of the, obvious reason of the restrictions that we have to that govern us now. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to adhere to those. So we've decided to go virtual. So
Mm-hmm.
the worship experience that will be virtual,
Mm-hmm.
and then the workshops, the conference on the Saturday, that's going to be streamed via Zoom. So you have to register so that you can get your link and
Mm-hmm.
get your churches, the church praise teams and stuff like that, and pull together and let's make this happen.
No,
Yeah. I think I should probably try and get a group rate done. What do you think? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, a group rate of that. But what we'll do is
But
we'll talk
then,
about it, and then we make it know what's happening. Because of
yeah.
course, week. It is
Yeah.
going to be in February. What date is it going to be?
February
February.
26 and
February.
27.
So it's 2 days. February
Two
26 and
days. The
27.
worship experience is going to be on the 26th, the evening of the 26th, starting at 7 o'clock. We're going to be having um, uh, Kevin Heath. We will
Mm-hmm.
have we
Watch
will
it
have
finish.
Petra K. Yes. We're going to be having Petra K from Petra
Sovereign
K
God.
Ministries. Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're going to be having Nadine Blair.
Oh, perpetual sounds of praise or just Nadine Blair?
Just Nadine Blair.
Lord of
She's going to
mercy.
be singing with my team, the Hard Cry Worship team, which is an like this year I decided to pull for praise and worship leaders, um, team members from different churches, from different cultures,
Ah.
from from different parts of the island again, because we have one from Trelawney, we have one from St. Thomas, we have from St. Catherine,
Mm-hmm.
and we have in town, we have Pentecostal, we have Brethren Church, we have
we
you know
have we have everybody.
right.
Everybody. We
I
have
think it's probably only
everybody.
an Adventist I don't have on the team, and the only
Okay.
reason is because they
It's a
wouldn't be able
weekend.
to,
Yeah, it's
because
a
it's a
weekend.
weekend,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there have been persons who have asked for it, but because it's a weekend. So I've put together this team of wonderful singers, and we're going to be having a I'm expecting a supernatural time for the worship experience. Our musicians, um, LJ and Chad and Joel, and they're actually going to be speaking on the Saturday too. So
LJ,
it's
Chad,
like,
and Joel. Oh
yeah,
Lord of mercy, the three chipmunks.
along with
Oh
along
Lord.
with Brandon Benjamin on guitars. So we're gonna have Bindi right there. On
Bindi.
the is gonna be on guitars,
Oh my
and
God.
so we're really looking forward to a wonderful time. Also, Bishop Limano Wishart is going to be bringing the word on the Friday night. So you know
Reverend
it's
Wishart. Yeah, he
it's
did he was 2019.
yes,
He was 2019, and it
deconstruction.
was
He
yeah
was yeah.
he was very pretty awesome in 2019. And New Testament people, y'all know Reverend Wishart. Y'all know him. Y'all know Reverend Wishart.
Mm-hmm,
You know him
mm-hmm.
style already. I understand what I'm saying. So it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome.
Hmm.
No, a lot of
That was just
people.
a Friday night. Hold on. Stick a pin.
Just
Stick.
Friday night alone. You talk about
That
right
was
now.
that was Friday night. Yeah, yeah. So the Saturday,
Uh huh.
the Saturday we're gonna have Go for God Family Church. Their worship team is gonna be doing praise and worship for us. Go worship. So
Mm-hmm.
we're looking forward to that. Then we're gonna have Reverend Timola Brown Lowe.
Get
She's
out
gonna be
of here.
yes, she is. She's gonna be speaking to us about vulnerability in worship.
And I have Kim tomorrow on the Heart of the Song. You know.
Right.
Tomorrow
Yes.
on the Heart of the Song.
Yes. Yes. Um, and then we're going to be looking at also prepping for online church, as I said before.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Ellis is going to be talking about that,
Okay.
and then we're going to have strategic planning for praise and worship. Yours truly will be the speaker for that. That is actually going to be a breakout session. So all the singers will come with me
Mm-hmm.
into the strategic planning sorry session, and then the musicians will have a panel discussion with Chad, LJ, and Joel, talking about from musician to minister, how
Mm.
the journey, and how do you
Okay.
transition from
Oh.
just being a musician to being a minister of your instrument. Remember we were talking about it
Yeah,
before.
earlier.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right. So that panel discussion, so those two sessions are going to be running at the same time. And then Heartstring, which pulls everything together,
Mm-hmm.
will be done by Isaiah Raymond. He will be coming and coming online. and and he'll be doing that session to wrap things up. So we should be done by 4 o'clock on the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be streaming live from the Escarpment Road New Testament Church of God,
Mm-hmm.
and we're really, really looking forward to a rich time. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember last year, Kim said to me, Kim said to me, Lati, you know, say hard cry going to be global next year. I was like, yeah, because for a number of years, you would know, KG, that
Mm-hmm.
we've been trying to explore the possibility of paid streaming and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and it just didn't get off the ground for some reason or the other.
It wasn't time
And
for the shift yet. It wasn't time for the shift. It wasn't time for the shift.
and this year it's gonna be global. So
Mm-hmm.
all my UK people who have been asking for years, all my US people, my
Mm-hmm.
Canadian people who have been asking for years, for this opportunity, here is the opportunity,
We'll be bringing
right?
it to you right into your house,
Yes,
right into your
right.
living room, right into your
So
car, wherever
so
you are.
it's just $4,000. That's probably like about 30 US.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
Uh,
less.
or less,
Or
or less.
less.
Yeah. And this is, I tell you, it's gonna be rich. It's going to be rich.
No, no, for the
And
persons who are thinking that $4,000, listen, we just spoke about investing in yourself and your craft. A lot of the times we put money on things that aren't so necessary, you know. And I'm not saying that aren't so necessary, but some things that probably can wait. We generally spend a 10 grand easy, easy, easy. And one of the things I always make reference to is that the people in the world no ram for shell out upon themselves and upon them entertainment. But as children of God, we do not want to invest in ourselves as we can or we should. So I'm taking this opportunity to just to tell the persons who are going to be watching it later on down, those who are currently on the live, that you're not going to regret spending $4,000 because that's all day. You know, if you leave for go buy food no way,
that's
you
2 days
just
actually.
that's 2 days, yeah, Friday and Saturday. So the $4,000 for the 2 days. So put it like this: a 2 grand a day. Someone will buy more
Hmm.
food than that for 2 grand.
Listen, I bought dinner this evening, and trust me,
And
that
more
was
than
four
2 grand.
grand.
Exactly.
That was 4 grand.
So I'm just saying to us that are on here, invest it because trust me, for the 4 years I've been a part of Hard Cry, I've never been disappointed. Never. And not because I'm a friend, because yeah, I'm a friend. No, I do not hide that. But what you get out of it because of what is put into it, it's worthwhile investing in, and especially now that we are in this type of atmosphere where worship is just everywhere and everybody are doing it the same way. I think you guys know is the time to invest. Now is the time to invest in Hard
Amen.
Cry. Pudding. Yes, you think say me that come off and say listen me talk about the bread pudding. No,
I
you what? You what? You what?
have to thank COVID for that.
That is what I was just going to say. Now, when COVID started, entertainment was nowhere
All my
except for
tours
those
got
persons.
canceled.
Everything got cancelled. A lot of the things that she would have been banking on to kind of push her, propel her way up in her soul, all fell down. And what happened? Tell us what happened, Latoya.
Some friends of mine, uh, I went, we had dinner. They came over for dinner. I said, all right, uh, let's bake a bread pudding. She said that she was going to bake a bread pudding,
Mm-hmm.
and she baked the bread pudding. I said, oh, this nice man. I need to try it. I'm gonna try it. Because I found that baking like cupcakes with Gabby and stuff, like baking cakes, the
Mm-hmm.
cake mix cakes and stuff
Mm-hmm.
with Gabby was pretty therapeutic for me. It relaxed me. So I said, all right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to make a bread pudding. And then One man said, I wonder how it would taste with rum cream in it.
You sanctified people.
Oh, glory. So yeah, so I I tried it, and believe you me,
No, I've
mm,
tried it. I've tried. I've had it. And trust me, I, rem-
it
I remember Kareem posting
hmm
about the bread pudding. Kareem,
yeah.
Kareem Hayes is a character by himself.
Oh yes, he
Kareem
is.
go out with something over a bread pudding.
Yep. Up to
So,
yesterday, Joseph, I had one in the fridge because I decided to take a break from baking for the month of January. 'Cause most persons on fasting, and you don't want to be a hindrance.
exactly.
And I've been on fasting too, so I don't want to be a hindrance to my own self. So so I decided to take a break from baking for January. And listen, Joseph had me bake one from the last set in December and said, put it in the fridge until I can come for it. Yesterday and come for it. And
So it then
trust
if
me,
it's from December.
it was in the fridge from then. Because you see, because it has the spirit in there, it is preserved. It is
It can't
preserved.
freeze.
Right, it's preserved. So
My
it
God.
don't spoil, it don't. And somebody said to me, the longer it stay in the fridge, the better it tastes.
Yeah, the nicer it's going to be.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Latoya, I mean, through many dangers, start and snare, from singing in the hospital room to baking bread pudding to launching an album to doing heart cry worship. You have been an inspiration to many persons. Now you also do vocal coaching. I can imagine that you probably still can do it because you can do it online. Uh,
Right.
if someone wants to contact you to do vocal coaching, how would they contact you to say, Latoya, I want you
So
to teach me
that is
this?
the other arm now. So we've talked about Latoya HD, the artist. We've talked about Hardcore Worship. Now we're going to talk about Altuan Productions, which is the production organization through which I do training, music production. My husband, Charlon Downer, is a producer, engineer, and he does a lot of the production side of things. And so, training, all you have to do is send an email to altwanproductions@gmail.com, and
Oh, spell the alt
you
one. Spell the alt one.
Altoine Productions. I think I should put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to do.
Yeah, you can do it.
A
You
L
can
T
you
O
can
I
pin
N
it.
E ALTOINE.
Yes,
Alt one Productions
at gmail.com.
at
I,
gmail.com. Oh, me pin it now.
I don't know.
Oh, pin. Nice. Pin it yourself. No, yo.
See, you learned something new. You're
That,
welcome.
if I tell you, me can pin two of them. Me can pin more than one. Oh no, can't pin more than one. You have to replace. Oh,
At a different time, you can pin something else.
okay. Because I was going to print spuropen.com/hardcry.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you
All
can
right. So
send
you
an email
just
there.
send an email there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will get the conversation started as to your vocal training, or your, if you want vocal arrangement for a song that you're doing, if you want a vocal producer, you're recording your song as an artist and you need someone with expertise to be there with you, to
Mm-hmm.
guide you through that process.
Mm-hmm.
I can be that for you. I also do music, vocal consultations with praise and worship teams and choirs. Well, choirs kind of on pause now, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, we can do that, where I come to your church and I will, work with your praise team. Yeah, and do those consultations. Yeah.
Wow. It has been a whole lot of stuff we talk about today.
I know, right?
We spoke of from your just start right up until this point, and of course we expect that greater things are going to be coming up.
Amen.
People, we're going to remind you of Hard Cry. A new dimension is going to be coming up on the 26th and
27th of
27th
February.
of next month. You don't have a lot of time. When does the early bird registration close?
February 5.
So you have but a couple of weeks to
Which
get
couple of weeks?
couple of days.
No, next week.
Today what? Today
You know what?
22nd. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, you have probably like a week and a half.
You have a week and a half to go
Yeah.
register early. If you register early, there's something special for you. We're not gonna tell you. It's gonna be a surprise once you register. It's $4,000 for the 2 days. You won't regret registering for Hard Cry, a new dimension. You will not regret it. You will learn some stuff that you never knew. And of course, so it's not only for persons who are singers or musicians, it's also for persons who are what? AV
Performing
and
arts, AV,
performing
multimedia,
arts, everything. So make sure
engineer.
that, and engineers, so all your engineer people, come on along and learn how to make a proper mix for your stream and stuff so that people can hear good quality sound coming out of your board. Latoya, I must say thank you so much for taking the time out. I know say you're frustrated and you're tired. You have a lot of things happening. You have rehearsals for Hard Cry. You have a whole heap of things they do. But of course, the gratitude
Thank
ton
you
up
so much for
for,
having me.
yeah man, for being here this evening. And I really do hope that this year we have like 4,000 patrons for Hard Cry because it limitless. If a 10,000 now no one come here.
Quite so.
We not turn back nobody because we can hold it.
Can't hold it now. We're not
Hold it.
confined to a building. Yes, it won't be a fire hazard.
Not this time around. Well, it has never been a fire hazard because we always have things in place because
That is right.
yeah, we make sure that we think turn up. So
Quite so.
any fireman come in and say, me say, easy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Me there.
Humble yourself.
Humble. But thank you so much, Latoya. I really do hope that everything will work out the way that we are hoping it to work out. And God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you,
Enjoy
my
the rest of
dear.
the. Gabby, go to your bed. You need to go sleep. You have
That ain't
school
happening
tomorrow.
for now. Make it worse tomorrow. It's Saturday.
Oh God! Thank you so much, Latoya. Bless you.
You're very
Bless
welcome. Take care,
you.
everybody. Bless you.
All right. Bye bye. All right.
Bye
So,
bye.
people, we thank Latoya. You see, there goes Gabby again in the background, going galanging on with a whole heap of something. But we thank Latoya. We're gonna be doing the rest of her song, which is the rest of her song, which is Your Presence, and then you will enjoy that one. You will enjoy that one because so we do it because we name Chill and Chat. So here we go with a continuation of uh, Your Presence. Look at it. Look at
God
it. You see that?
has for us,
Look at the intensity.
just
Look
like a
at the
river
intensity.
flowing out of the belly, out of our bellies shall flow rivers of living water. Hallelujah. Your presence is like water. It's like water. Your presence is like heaven. To me, your presence is like water. It's like water. more aware of God's presence. Let us experience the glory of your presence. For in your presence there is fullness of joy. Oh, come on, everybody, help me sing it. Oh, our fellowship in the presence of the Lord. There's fullness of joy. Oh, fellowship
Mm.
divine, I am His, and He is mine. In the presence of
Mm.
the Lord, there's fullness of happiness with Jesus.
Wow. My word, in the presence of the Lord, there's fullness of joy. Thank you so much for joining me for another chill and chat right here on my YouTube channel. If you've not yet done so, you can go ahead and click subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because we have a whole lot more stuff gonna happen this evening. I just might have Latoya on again, because I'm certain that there are a lot of things that we could talk about that we did not, because of what we were aiming to do this evening. However, don't worry yourself. We have people that we're going to be having on here that is going to be helping you or someone you know. So until then, until we meet again, thank you so much for joining me, and peace out. All right? Yeah, let's take us. Let me go out with this one here from Latoya. Latoya, hey, Latoya, look, you know, man, remember me tell you that. Yeah.